Welcome to the Imperfect Dads Podcast. This is your host, Devin. We believe dads care deeply about their family and kids, but they don't always have a space to discuss what their life looks like. Our podcast is a space for dads to discuss the ups and downs of fatherhood and how they feel like they're holding it together or how they're not. Thank you for joining us for this episode. This podcast is part of the Never a Face Network. Make sure to follow them on Instagram or go to the website neverafacenetwork.com. On this episode, we have on Chris and Steve from the band Further North. We talked about life on tour, how their band feels like a brotherhood, Chris's life with twins and his journey with fertility, Chris's day job with plumbing, Steve's PhD in Bonhoeffer, a detour into peaceful protest, planning on Steve not playing a show because of family commitment, and all the ridiculous late night talks in the van while on tour. Just like one more thing.
Dad, just start the episode.
Oh, my bad. First, since there are two of you on this podcast, I do have to make you introduce yourselves and put, a voice to a name that way, and do it now. Because if I don't do it now, then in 20 minutes, I'm going to be like, oh, the audience has no frame of reference.
Right.
You guys are
right.
also. Please introduce yourself, say your name and how many kids you got, ages, all that stuff.
Awesome. I'll start. So I'm Steve, and I got two kids. My son is 12 and my daughter's 13. She's about to be 14. Chris?
I'm Chris. My name is Chris. I tried to make it a AA thing, but it wasn't going to be funny.
Yeah.
No.
I've been fathering for 6 years. Yeah.
Right.
I've been fathering for 6 years. No, I have twins, twin girls nonetheless, and they're 6. So this is my 7th year in the saddle here.
It's amazing, dude.
Steve, what's the age difference between your kids?
It's about a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say my son is, or my daughter is the cause and solution to all my son's problems.
Yeah.
So as a baby, my daughter would go take his pacifier away from him and he'd start crying, and then she'd give it back. She'd be like, "Here, Bubba," give it back to him and pet him on the head. I'm like, you created that.
Yeah.
You started it.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I'll take care of it. I'll take care.
But I fixed
what
it.
logic does it? Yeah, I fixed it. Yeah.
That's job security. That's what that
it
is if you work a job. And Chris, what's the age difference between your kids? Maybe 3 minutes, maybe 2?
2 minutes exactly, actually.
Really?
9:58.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah, 9:58 and 10 a.m. on July 10th. I almost said 9th. July 10th.
That's awesome.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, dude.
2 minutes.
What was it like whenever you found out you're going to have twins?
Well, I mean, I guess we'll break it down.
Yeah.
There's no barriers with us. We talk about whatever.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But so me and my wife had to go through. We had to have some scientific help,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure. I never ever say it right. I don't know if it's IVF or whatever. It's not the super expensive one, I guess. It's the step before that.
Yeah.
You got the great value version of
Yes, I got.
You went to Walmart?
I did.
right?
I did. Hey, dude, it's hard out here for musicians. Okay?
I get it.
It is.
But no, we did that, and they said you have and I'm special. I wasn't catching on to the science side of it, but they told us, they're like, okay, you guys have 2 eggs, so you have a potential to have for them to split, and that makes 4. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we have a better chance. Well, see, I didn't think, oh my God, that means we could have 4 kids.
Yeah.
At once. That would just that's earth shattering to me. I wouldn't know what to do. But so we go through everything and everything's good. She gets pregnant. We go back and they're like, hey, so they're doing a sonogram.
Yeah.
And the nurse looks at her and looks at my wife and looks at me, and I'm like, what? Of course. I'm like, what's going? This is going. It's going one way or the other, and I really pray that it's not going to be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so she looks at it. She goes, "Well, there's baby A," and she wrote A on the
No way.
on the monitor. And I said, I stopped her, and I was like, "Hey," I said, "there's 25 other letters in the alphabet." I was like, "What are you about to tell me?" And so she goes, "Well, there's only 2." And I said, "What do you mean only 2?" And she's like, "Well, you could have had 4." She kept trying to silver lining me.
Yeah.
She's like, well, you could have had 4. And I was like, no. Back to the there's 2 thing.
Yeah.
Like, what is, of course, like, I don't know. I graduated high school and I went on tour, so I'm
Yeah.
not the smartest guy in the world. But I was like, what? So what does that mean? And I just kept telling her, like, what does that mean? And my wife is, yeah, it's weird, right? Because it's on the sonogram, but you can see in the sonogram, it is visibly bouncing because she is laughing so hard sitting in the chair. She's like, what? I don't know what we're gonna do with twins. Like, how do you
That's
even kick
amazing.
that off? So yeah, I'm talking to the sonogram tech, and I'm like, what? Like, what does that mean? Like, break it down like dummy style for me. Like, explain to me what we're talking about. She's like, well, you're gonna have 2 kids. I was like, like at once. Like, that's crazy. So thankfully, we didn't have 1 to begin with. So we've only ever known what it's like to have 2. And so everybody's like, "Oh, I don't know how y'all did it." And we're like, "Dude, we didn't have an option. Like,
Yep.
we just hit the ground running and figured it out."
Yeah.
It was not easy. I'll tell you that straight
Yeah.
up. Like, it wasn't easy. And there's days now, they're 6, but there's still days now that I'm like, this is the freaking hardest thing I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's generally something that happens, and I'm on the road with these guys or something, I'm on FaceTime, and I can't be there to like physically be the
Yeah.
dad that I should be.
Yep.
And I mean, sort of foreshadowing, if we talk about the music side more or whatever, but this last run that we had, we were in Seattle and Washington and Oregon area, PNW. And it was just like, for everybody in the van, it was all kind of rough. And it's
Yeah.
like, dang,
Yeah.
dude, like, this is what everybody writes about, where like you're not
Yeah.
home when crap hits the fan and you have to be there to like try to work it out with your partner or your kid, or in our case, like we had a pet that died, and
No.
we had our content creator, and is Murphy. She's incredible. Her dog like passed away, and she wasn't there for it. And it's like, dude, like,
No.
this sucks.
Yeah.
This is like it's like Steve and I have been through a lot in the band together, and then like
Yep.
him and I is just like, because we're business partners too.
Cool.
But like, just outside of the band, we've also been through stuff, and he's always been the dude that's like, yo, like, pick your head up, just keep going. Like, we believe in like adversity makes you stronger.
Yeah, sure.
Like, this whole week, or that whole weekend,
Yeah.
it was
rough.
It was
Yeah.
what was it? It was a
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I think we all started with
Yeah.
like 2 hours of sleep on
Yeah.
Friday, and it was just, we were like
Cheaters.
done, dude.
My
Sorry.
favorite, no, you're good. My favorite Frank Turner lyric that pops in my head a lot is, "Remember, this is your past if you survive." Because I feel like people
Yeah.
are always like, "Oh no, you're going to be great. You're going to be stronger." And it's like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Yeah, but
Yeah.
first it breaks your bone, then you spend a year in rehab, and then
Right.
so I don't know. I understand resilience. I understand keeping my head up and stuff, but like, can we talk about the chunks of my personality this damaged in the process?
Right.
Like,
Right.
no joke, dude. There's a part of me, and it's mostly in liquid form, aka
Yeah.
tears, on the side of the road in Los Angeles, California, because of some stuff
Dude.
that happened a couple of years ago with
Yeah.
us.
That
Like,
was, yeah.
that was my first, like, oh my God, I got us on an airplane. Like I said, we're the dads.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got us on an airplane, the furthest we've ever been away from home together. And it's just a dumb situation. Like, we couldn't get the rental car to work right away. And I'm like,
No,
dude,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how, like, oh, what do we do? Like, we're screwed. And so him and I had like this really, kind of prophetic walk
Yeah.
to a bank, because we had to put cash into an account because they wouldn't take multiple cards. Like, it's just,
Right.
it was
just
insane.
Yeah. Which already being a parent is constant moments of, even if you're not a touring musician, being like, guess I'm
Yeah.
figuring this out today. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't want to
there's-
figure this out today, but here we go.
No. There's so much done on the fly.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Well, and
kind
then,
of
like-
why we're good at what we do here.
Yeah.
a lot of times it's like parenting on the road, and that's like,
Yeah.
that's the non-glamorous part about being in a band and being a dad, is like, you're like Chris, had his like daughter who was like sobbing on the phone this past weekend. And then I had like kids that were performing, like their big choir performance.
Yeah.
And choir trip, and my son was upset that I wasn't there, legitimately, and so
Yep.
like, he's sad, and I'm trying to figure out, how do I support him and be there, and while I'm also here, it's like kind of that
Yeah.
divided attention. And when we're face to face with our kids, we spend great time with very intentional quality time with our kids.
Yeah.
But also, I think the hard thing about being a dad on the road is like recognizing that to the kid, to my son or my daughter, like, well, you're still dad. Like, I
Mhm.
should be able to approach you anytime,
Yeah.
right? So it's
Yep.
like
Right.
we're loading into the venue or whatever, and then that was something too. Like we're loading into the Bremerton venue. I don't even know if I told you this, Chris. And then my daughter was like calling me, going, "Hey, I think you and Angel were doing some stuff with the whatever the X32," and
Nice.
my daughter's calling it, and I answer, and she's like, there's drama in her
Yeah.
acting class, and she's like telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, I need to be here, I need
Yeah.
to
Right.
listen, I need to be here for her because this is important.
Mhm.
And but at the same time, I'm like, is this show gonna go off? Right? Are we gonna? And so like
Sound
you're
checking currently.
Yeah.
right. And so it's like, how do you balance all of that? And
Yeah.
it's a lot of times, like, Chris and I will be like, hey, dude, I got to take this call. Let me,
Yeah.
like, can I get 5 minutes or whatever? And it's like, we're dads and we kind of know anyways, but it's hard. It's like emotionally difficult.
Our band is our
know,
band, and there's times that I think I've pushed a little more than I should have, but that's just kind of the business side of me. But our band is such a family
yeah,
first focused thing.
Mhm.
Like Steve, like we're about to play a show in, I don't know, two weeks or so where some friends
Mhm.
called Keep Flying, and we don't want to cancel the show, but Steve can't do it. This will be the first show we've ever played where
yeah,
he wasn't singing. Like
Mhm.
one of our friends is going to step in and help, but we've always been a family focused
Yeah.
band, and it's always been like said out loud. So we just kind of know, like, in that sort of situation, like, hey, I've got to go get on this FaceTime. Like, my kid is freaking out. Like, I
Yeah.
got to go talk to her.
yeah,
And everybody knows, and you'll see. What I guess what I'm really trying to say is, like, my 5 guys are the most family focused dudes I've ever done this with, and they understand it all. So it's way, way, way easy to be like, hey, Steve, I need you to play this guitar for a
Yep.
sound check, or like figure this
Yep.
out while I go FaceTime my kid. And
Yeah.
he'll do the same thing. Like, hey,
Yeah.
Here's the wireless mic, like sound check it because I can't do it. I gotta go get on the phone.
Yeah.
And it's all understood. Like nobody is
that's
gonna
great.
get pissed. Nobody's gonna get mad. We've just kind of always set that as a priority, and it helps. Like when we're home, we're home. And
Yeah.
even when we're not home, like we're still on the phone or we're on
Yeah.
FaceTime. Or just this last year, my daughter has an iPad,
Mhm.
which is sort of like a love-hate thing with me.
Mhm.
But on Facebook Messenger, she's learned how to call me now. So
Wow.
I'll be in a work meeting here at home, and then my phone just goes nuts for like 6 missed calls. And it's
Mhm.
just her being like, I just want to know what you're doing. And it's like,
I'm
I'm
working.
being an adult.
Yeah.
Hang
Yep.
on. Hang
Yeah.
on. You won't have the iPad if I don't do this
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
funny.
kind of situation. But no, like we've been very, very good and very intentional about family in this
Yep.
band, which is
Yeah.
a huge blessing for
Yeah.
for all of us, really.
Yeah. I have some friends that are in a band called the Wild Feathers based out of Nashville. And I don't know if they do 3 long week tours anymore. I think they keep
Oh,
it to
there's no
maybe
way.
1 because like
Yeah.
in their 20s, yeah, man, of course, do it all the
Yep.
time, do whatever.
Yep.
But like now, like, yeah, if they're away from home for 2 weekends, like every member in that band is a dad. And they're like, it's not worth it. I'm not missing little
Right.
league games. I'm not missing these
Right.
moments with my kids.
Yeah.
Love playing in front of people, love sharing music, love doing this life. But if my kid only remembers little league baseball as the thing I was never there for, no,
Yeah.
not doing it.
Yeah.
So I listened to a podcast I listened to a lot of podcasts. Aaron Gillespie and
Yeah.
Tim McTagg from Under Oath. And obviously they're a drastic example of this, but Tim was like, dude, I have a 13-year-old daughter, and I think I've only been present in her life, like physically with her, for like 7 of those years.
Yeah.
And that's crazy for
Yeah.
me to think. Like,
Yep.
I don't, I love Under Oath, and they've given me a lot of the spiritual side of things, and just like a lot of influence throughout my life. But it's insane. I don't know that I could
Mhm.
ever, and we've talked about this, Steve, but like, if Green Day called tomorrow and was like, "Hey, we want to put you guys on the road," we're like, "Okay, but you're gonna have to do it for like 35 people because like
I know,
everybody's
right?
family is
Yep.
coming."
Taking my wife, taking my kids, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
Tour bus per
dogs,
band member.
like,
Yep. Yep.
and it's wild to me that one day you're gonna look back and be like, "Man, I spent half of this kid's life not in
Yeah.
their life
Yeah.
just to pursue something for myself," which I'm all for. Like you said, in your 20s, do it until you're, sleeps for the dead. I get it.
Yeah.
But whenever you have a child, to me,
Yep.
all of a sudden, every priority switches, and that's the
Yeah.
focus. And it's not about you and your music and what you want to do. Like, sure, it's still fun to be able to do it, but
Mhm.
you got to go home, and that kid needs you,
Yeah.
And I mean, it's been a struggle for me to balance that sometimes, just because
Yeah.
I'm like 1,000 miles an hour or 0 miles an hour,
Yep.
and sometimes the 1,000 was the band and the 0 was the family, and I had to
Mhm.
correct it as fast as I could
Yep.
because I don't want any of those situations. I'm such a sad dad that, like, well, that's kind of a term that we use. Sad
Mhm.
dad core is what we call ourselves. But like, we, I don't want to be down the road and have my kid be like, "Hey, you missed my birthday." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Well, Cat in the Cradle is a great song. It's not supposed to be biographical, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Supposed to be a warning,
It's
right?
supposed to be a warning.
Yeah,
Your kid will move on. The world doesn't
yeah.
stop while you're at work, and make
Yeah.
sure to be there. Steve, if
Yeah.
I can ask, can I ask why you won't be able to play that show, like, in a couple of weeks?
Yeah. So my daughter has a performance,
Yeah.
and so this has been a weird thing for us, like, and I don't even know how to explain it unless you're a dad, or or like a mom, you've experienced this, but like we further north books our year like months or sometimes a year in advance, right? Like recording,
Yeah.
touring,
Yeah.
buying tickets, right? Plane tickets or getting on the road and stuff. And unfortunately, like we will especially the past year,
It has been it's the constant in this last year. I know you're gonna say sorry.
yeah, and I'm not even mad about it. It's just like I don't know what to do about it. So like every weekender we've booked trip or including this last one over the past, I think probably 9 months, a year, something like that. My
Yeah.
kids inevitably will have a performance
Yeah.
scheduled
Yeah.
that weekend after
course.
we've like months or weeks after we booked it. And then it's
Yep.
like, well, we've got money on the line.
Yeah.
And so what do we do? And, so this time around, it was like the show came up and it was like the perfect show for us. And some buddies of ours were like, we need to do this. But also, like, I've missed so much. I just
can't,
can't.
yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
And I'll be in town. The crazy thing is, I will be in town. It's not even like we're going to be on but it's also like, we've always say with the band, like, the family always comes first. Family always comes first. So, like, this is something that we just kind of talked about it. We are like, I'm just not gonna play, and not in a mean way or any. And I even said, hey, if there's somebody that we know that would want to jump on stage and sing for us, I think that'd be awesome. So, and it looks like it's gonna work out that way. So I'm super stoked on that. But yeah, that's what it is. It's being a dad.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
so
I know.
weird about
Yeah.
I'm so weird about it. Like, I don't want somebody else to do it, but I also
I
don't wanna
know.
let our friends down
Of
kinda
course.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
it's got to be a weird place to get in your career. It's like it's always interesting to have your priorities, know your priorities, and then to like follow through on them is such a different thing. Because like I know people who are in your guys' situation also, where they're like, I'm not touring unless it's worth it, and like that
Absolutely.
seems like such
Yeah.
a harsh sentiment to be like, but it's
Right.
like no, like I've got to make sure people are going to show up to these shows. I've got to make sure
Yeah.
tickets are going to sell. I've got to make sure it's financially
Yeah.
worth it, emotionally worth it. Like if I'm going to skip out on this world, what I'm going to do better be good. And like, that sounds very aggressive the way I just said that, but like, I also know people who work full time and are dads and they're like, if I'm going to be away from my family for 40 hours a week, this job better be giving me something that's worth missing this time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we're
There's
the
got to
same
be
way.
some sort of a balance to it. I think one of the things that we try to do is just be intentional about what we're booking, how often we're booking, and the beauty of the world that we live in now. Like, you couldn't do this 20 years ago when we were playing a lot more. Is
Mhm.
we can do weekends. Like we do have Spotify that can get our music to people, and we have YouTube in such a way that I don't know, like it's much more accessible. You can get people out to shows, and so it's easier for us to both be dad and
Yeah.
be in a band. Whereas 20 years ago, dude, like you had to play
Mhm.
200 dates out of the year, you know,
Yep.
to get anywhere. And that's just impossible. I mean, I guess you could do that now. None of us could because of
Yeah.
our
I mean,
kids, you
just
know?
Yeah.
between work and family, there's no way. Like, I'll be 40 next year, and it's just
Mhm.
like, sure, I graduated high school and I flew to Boston, and I started a tour with the band called the Receiving and the Sirens, and I didn't stop touring for God, what 28 when I met my wife.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, like, for the better part of 10 years now, like, it's been kind of sporadic, it's a complete shift, and it's
Mhm.
just a totally different world. But, and it's corny as it is and cheesy as it is, like,
Mhm.
I wouldn't trade that
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
what we have now for any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
And I
crazy.
think I'm glad, like, it's always interesting to me whenever having a kid doesn't, or having a kid, getting married doesn't change people's like habits. Cause like, yeah,
Yeah,
it should, like, that deeply concerns me about someone's ego. Cause it's like, yeah, you get married, you have kids, and like, oh, I can't be the same. I have to change in some way. I've got to modify some stuff. I've got to be more
sure.
selfless in ways that I didn't know I needed to be
Yeah.
selfless. And then,
Yeah.
like, to me, like, it's just you take it a day at a time. It's like, okay, cool.
Yep.
Last weekend, how was it whenever you guys went out and played? Everything was awful at home. Cool. Can we space out the next run of shows a little
Yep.
bit so I can get
Right.
more home
Sure.
time? And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's I think that's the reality of how you approach it. Is you don't say like, this is what we do. You go, all right, guys, let's check in. We were just gone for
Yeah.
4 days. We
Yeah.
good? Like, how's everyone feeling? And then we'll know how to step forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that, man. Like that's something that we try to. Thankfully, we're all like an open book, and we kind of share. Especially like once we get off the road, we kind of will recap. Like, hey, this happened at home, that happened,
Yeah.
and we're all open books about the family, and so we all kind of know each other's scenario, and you know what kids we have at home, and this
Yeah.
and that, and family and stuff. So that's something that we're always touching base on, and I'm asking Chris, and he's asking me, hey, is everything good? Are the kids good? And so I value that. Like Chris said earlier, like we all value family, not just in our own families, but in each other's. And
Yeah.
Chris will
Yeah.
ask me frequently, like, "Hey, how's your daughter? How's your son?" And to me, it's like, you know, like he's family to me. You know, like
Yeah.
he's not just a bandmate. He cares about me and my family, and that's
Mhm.
important to me. So
I mean,
yeah,
that's
I couldn't be in a
sorry.
band, you know, like with somebody that just didn't care. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, especially now, like back in the day, you're, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know,
It's
17 in a
different. Yeah.
band. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But where we are today, you know,
Well,
that's important.
I think when you're a teenager or like early 20s or something like that, music is like your entire existence. So you're
That's
like,
it. Yeah.
you can have a lot of grace. You can,
Yeah.
like, yeah, as long as you got good vibes and good tunes, you're
Right.
good. But then
Right.
you have a family and you're on an opportunity cost, whatever you want to call it. You realize what you're missing out on. And
Yep.
so for
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
not care or inquire about something that's a pretty massive part of your identity, you view them when someone doesn't ask me about like, how's your family? I'm like, I'm just going to assume you don't really give a shit about me. That's what I'm
Right.
going to assume.
Right. Yeah. That's how it comes off. Right.
Yeah.
We we've been taking out, so our drummer who we had since COVID
Mhm.
up until probably a year and a half ago, he just had a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just had a daughter. She's a baby.
Yeah.
So he's still in like the survival mode.
Uh
Mm-hmm.
huh.
Yep.
But so we've had our friend out playing drums with us, and he
Mhm.
is 22 years old. So it's basically like having a son in the van with us. And we
Yeah.
were
Literally.
driving,
Yeah.
literally, yeah. Like I think you even said like, Jackson, you could be my son. Like
Yeah.
You could be
you're,
my son. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Alternate
could literally
timeline.
have a.
Alternate
yeah.
Right.
timeline.
Right.
You're my kid.
You're my
But
kid.
like
Yeah.
he's new to the traveling and touring and all that, but he loves it and he's eager and he's ready
Yeah.
to do it. You know, we're just kind of the old dogs. They're like, get me to the hotel or get me to where we're staying.
Yeah.
Like, but we were driving back to. We have friends pretty much all over the country, so we were
Mhm.
staying in Lacey, Washington, with some family, and we were driving back to that house after I don't remember one of the shows, and Jackson, our drummer, our fill-in drummer, was like, he used his drink tickets at the bar. I'll just say that,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I'm straight edge, so he like I'm pretty sure I gave him mine too,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but he like, do you remember this, Steve? Shirley, him,
Vaguely. Yeah, vaguely.
like Jackson leaned. I'm in the middle bench of our van.
Yeah.
And Jackson leans up and he's pretty tipsy. And he goes, "Man," he goes, "I love doing this." And it was just like for a split second, I saw myself 20 years ago. And I was
right.
like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad. I want you to experience this while you can without
Yeah.
anything really kind of no responsibilities back at home kind of
Yeah.
thing. And there's a Wonder Years song called "Passing Through the Screen Door."
Mm-hmm.
And in that song, he talks about he's 26 in the song, I guess, and he talks about seeing all of his friends start families and like have day jobs. And
Yeah.
one of the lines is like, I have anybody that cares if I come home at night, kind of thing, is what he says. I think I'd probably just butchered that, but
You're good.
he's basically saying like he's 26 and nobody cares that he's out in a van, like, traveling, doing this. They're back home and they have their families and they have just life going on.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackson leaned forward to me. He was like, "I think I understand what he was talking about in that song." And I was like, "You haven't gotten there yet. You're still you're still in the honeymoon phase."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, whenever you're laying in the back of the van and you like sort of in my situation, I was just
Right.
like, I had like an epiphany and I was like, what am I supposed to be doing this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then 2 years later I was married and trying to start a family.
Mm-hmm.
Life has a funny way of like redirecting you. I mean, I don't know. We're all in our band. We're all. I'd say. I think it would be fair to say that we're all believers, and we all kind of know that there's going to be changes. I guess like one day hopefully he'll have a family and realize like, man, that was fun, but I'm glad I got to do it then and not have to do it now, kind of thing. There's another Wonder Years line, and I was telling Jackson, and he was like leaned up on me. He's like, "Dude, I love you guys." Like, he's just like the little pup that's still like wet behind his ears, kind of thing. But he was like, I said, "Jackson, there's a line that says in the Wonder Years song that says nobody gets me except my friends in the backseat of the van."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, "That once that clicks, then you'll start to know kind of what we're doing."
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just young, but it's so funny to see like that early like eagerness to go do this stuff.
Yep. No,
That was us once upon a time.
I have tons of friends where like by the time they got to be 30, I went to Belmont, so I've studied like music business, had friends who were like tour managers, went on the road, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like by the time they got to 30, they were like, yeah, so this isn't really sustainable. But yeah, for like 20
right.
20 to 25, extremely fun, energizing. And then like 3 or 4 years of like, is this my career? Like, this is it. This is the resume. And some people can live that life and it's good, but I have a lot of friends where like, that's how they became like computer programmers. They did all this stuff because they're like, oh, I've been basically doing my band's website for a decade, so I actually know how to code. Oh,
I actually know how to do this.
how much will someone pay me to code? Oh, that's a lot more than I'm making right now. So like, I think around 30, and a lot of like, if you're a bander now, I think around 30 or 32 is when you look up and you go, what was I building? Like, if you guys know who Richard Rohr is, like that Franciscan monk, he's very big on that of like, hey, you know what? You're going to build a life. And at some point in time, you're going to look up and be like, what wall did I put my ladder against? Like, what did why did I just sprint to the top of this wall for?
Yeah.
And then you're going to reassess, move your ladder, move it to a different wall. And that's just part of life. Is no matter what you do, you're going to need a moment to look up and be like, what am I building? And you should have a moment in which you look in the mirror and go, what was I trying to build this entire time?
Doing?
What am I doing here? And like, am I able to acknowledge the ways in which I can change to a future that I want to be a part of? Or am I just going to repeat the cycle for the rest of eternity?
Right.
To get a little philosophical with you, you know?
Yeah, I like it.
For sure. I like it. I like the philosophical.
What do you guys do for like day jobs? Like besides like weekend warrior stuff for tour stuff, what do you do for day jobs?
I am, in the simplest of terms, I'm a plumber.
Okay.
But in the not so simple terms, I'm a project manager that runs multi-million-dollar builds of like, right now I'm doing a apartment complex, like a 5-building apartment complex. But we do high rises, we do hotels, and just massive things that you don't think about whenever you're using the shower in a hotel. No, it's all kind of stuff that I've learned to do over the years. And I don't know, everybody needs to go to the bathroom and take a shower. So I feel like
Right.
my job is pretty AI proof.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are very thankful for
Yeah.
you and your
Yes.
ilk, Chris.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I talked to Mike Mantione, who's like the guy from the band 5/8 out of like Athens, Georgia.
Nice.
He's
Yeah.
a carpenter. That's what
Yeah.
that's what,
Yeah.
whenever he wasn't on the road, he just did woodworking stuff and building stuff. And he's like, pretty sure AI can't take this job yet. So they
Right.
can take
No.
my other gig I like a lot more of playing music, but they haven't figured out this one
Right.
yet. So I can still
Right,
feed my
yeah.
family.
That's funny. That's cool. So I do budget stuff for clients. It's kind of
Yeah.
boring. I just kind of manage budget stuff. I also have like Chris and I also co-own and run Common Thread Records.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have a PhD, and so I do like academic. I
What?
know it's weird.
Dr.
Yeah,
Steve?
right?
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
So
Been
So
talking so
literally-
informally this whole time. I'm so
Right.
sorry,
in
sir.
our
Yeah.
in our group chat, it says Dr. Stanley. That's what his
Dr.
name is
Stanley.
in the group chat.
I did not select that. Yeah.
Is,
It
what's
was-
your doctorate in?
My my PhD is in ministerial leadership. I studied this dude Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who was
Yeah.
part of the
Yep.
so the Valkyrie plot to kill Hitler, right? So like so I'm very much concerned about like how do you confront government, right? Like
Yeah.
what's the best way to. So I've studied Martin Luther King Jr., Oscar Romero, those kind of dudes. So super into that. And then so I write a lot. I write
Yeah.
for like a newspaper and some academic articles and stuff like that. So yep, that's kind of how I spend my time.
So I went the sledgehammer route. He went the metaphorical sledgehammer route.
You
And
know,
it works better.
what I really love here is the reality that if you have a PhD in religious studies of any form, you still need
Yeah.
a side hustle or two.
yeah. This is true. Multiple side hustles. Yeah.
You're
Chris
not
and I
like-
have talked about that. Yeah. About a month ago, we were sitting around having pizza, and I'm like, Chris, dude, I did not understand how expensive this education thing is. Like it's
He's like, I need to make
intense.
more money.
Yeah.
I know. Like, yeah. So
Yeah.
I told him the same thing, and I started another side hustle that's
right.
taking it out of me again. And, you know, I like to build things. So
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
awesome. And-
I'm trying to build many companies, many companies, I guess.
Many companies.
And Steve likes to discuss the purpose of said companies
Yeah,
and what
the
the
purpose of
ethical
said-
value
Yeah.
of that is.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
you
that's
have a heck of a world right now to talk about what you're doing, dude.
Right.
We're in the middle
Yeah.
of it now.
I find myself, I think one of my favorite things about parenting was fascinating is you have to constantly hold big picture and day to day constantly. And that's what I feel like, honestly, not to make it too about religion or religious studies and everything, but to me, that's what like religious studies is like,
Yeah.
okay, what's the big picture? Why are we here?
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da. Now, day to day, am I living out
Yeah.
any of this at all?
Right.
Okay, I have some work to do here.
Yeah. What's the practical application of these philosophical concepts?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. It's
Yep.
it's funny because like they always say as you go through a PhD, your whole family goes through a PhD.
Mhm. Yep.
You know, so because like you're always like whatever you're studying, you're constantly talking about. And so like my kids, I feel so bad for them. Like, you know, I'll be like, so the audience, if you're listening, the guy that I studied basically confronted the Nazis, right? And he was a pastor and a theologian. And so, you know, my kids are like 12 and 13 years old. And for whatever reason, the past, 4 or 5 years, most of the conversations they've had with me is like how to confront the Nazis. And like,
Yep.
I'm like, I didn't even like realize just how heavy the idea was. And then
Yes.
like recently my daughter said something, I don't know, about this dude. And I was, about, and how her friends wouldn't even know who he is. And I was like, oh, they wouldn't? She was like, Dad, why would they? I was like, oh yeah, I don't know why. It's like a household topic for us,
Oh
and
my
I'm like, I
gosh.
don't know. What have I burdened my kids with,
Yeah,
So,
pretty
yeah.
much. Bonhoeffer
No.
is fascinating. And like, I
Yeah.
think, I remember reading, I really like, do you know who Jamar Tisby is?
No.
Okay, he did like this book called, damn it, I'll get back to music. He did this book
No,
called
it's all good.
The Color of Compromise, which basically goes through the Christian movement of churches and how it was intertwined with racism. So like the reality of
Okay. Yeah.
they would lynch people and then have a church service. Like
Right.
that was reality. And
Yeah.
so it's him talking about like all of that world and all
Mhm.
of that existence. And that was the first time I'd really like started to pay attention to like John Lewis, peaceful protest, and all
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
intentionality of protests that they did. Because to me, I was just like,
Yeah.
you go into cafeteria, you say you won't leave, and it's like, no, they were trained. They went to Mount Eagle.
Right.
They were
Dude.
intentionally told what to do
Yeah.
whenever things escalated and how to
Yeah.
de-escalate or not to engage. And it's
Right.
fascinating.
It's fascinating, and I've said for a while, like, this is what's missing in our culture today. We have the fervency, the desire to protest, to push back, but we don't have the intentionality, the training, and the voice, you
Yeah.
know, like somebody guiding that. The outrage is there, and I understand it, but we don't have like the intentionality and the fortitude that they had in the civil rights era, which was actually shocking that they did. I mean, it's amazing they had it, but I wish, and I find that the connection with punk rock, right? Because that's what Chris and I play. We play that
Yeah.
music, and I teach this to my kids too, right? We should always be questioning authority, not so much that we want to. I'm not an anarchist, but we should be skeptical of people in authority. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm just that this
yeah.
very near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
If anyone looks at me and says from any political side, anyone in life says, I know all the answers, I will automatically look at them and say, no, you don't. And
No,
like,
you don't.
and I'm not
Right.
trying to, and it is because of a punk rock influence of growing up and stuff and being like, no. If you go into a room and say, I know all the answers, like, cool, you're trying to get power, you're trying to get influence, and you're trying to gain something from this room.
Yeah.
And that usually isn't about my best interest, my family's best interest, or anyone else's best interest that I
Yeah.
know. It's your best interest. And I sure I understand that. But I have a hard time with anyone being like, I know the answer to this, unless it's like a very mathematical, scientific.
Right.
Hey, by the way,
Very
we need to put
objective.
this. We need to put this toilet here. We need gravity to flow like this. I'm like, yeah, that dude's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna trust Chris if he tells me where to put the toilet.
Dude, so like it's funny that this is what we're talking about, because in our van at late night, it always seriously, I'm not even just saying it for content, like
It's true.
it gets to this. Like we were driving through, because I'm very curious, and Steve's the smartest dude I know. So of course I'm like, hey, I'm
now with technology though, now with cameras.
No, not at all,
dude.
Not with anything that matters.
No, whatever. I have to put his in-ear pack on his butt and like slap his butt for him to be like, oh, okay, here we go.
You go, man. You got it. You're ready now.
Like
ready
he's
for
ready.
what?
So
come on,
true, right?
No, but no, like I don't even know where we were. We were driving. Where were we when you started showing all the Nazi pictures from Germany?
Gosh, dude.
Like he's like, yeah, like I was in Germany because we talked about this a little bit at one of the shows we played up in the PNW. Steve like got to go on a trip like to Israel and see so in Germany and like see so much. And I'm a huge history nerd, so I'm jealous, very jealous of all of that. He's like, yeah, over in Germany, he showed us this building, and it's a McDonald's, but it was an old like Nazi leadership building, and there's still like the crest, like the outline of the crest. Obviously, they've taken it down since, but there's still like the just that symbolism on the wall. And I'm like, dude, that's like, I mean, leave it to like the uneducated, as far as like the world goes, American people who just don't travel enough to see that stuff. But like that happened, and that was real.
Yeah.
That was like, these books aren't just like made up history stories. Like this is,
and it's a warning, dude. It's a warning,
it's crazy.
Like, to us, right? Like, this isn't just something that happened, 80 years
this happened
ago.
100 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is still, and it could happen, here. It could happen anywhere, right?
It could happen anywhere, yes.
Yeah.
You've got to be cautious. You got to keep your eyes open. You got to be skeptical. Yeah. But that's that's also my punk rock ethic of, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it always, to me, punk rock is always communal also. Like, It is
Sure.
taking
Yeah.
from, to make this the dumbest way to sound possible, you take something from the overlords and share with the people. It's very Robin Hood, right? And
Sure.
so like
very.
it is
Yeah.
about taking something and sharing it. It's not like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
going to go steal this from the people in power so I can have it. It's like, no,
Right.
because I want
Right.
everyone to benefit from it.
Yeah, I'm not consolidating this for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
The guys from Emory, whenever I had on Devin Shelton, he said
That's
late nights in their van also is like this, where they're sitting there like,
It's dude.
what do you really
Yeah.
think about?
Yes.
And it makes them closer because they're talking about stuff that like is in their
Yeah.
subconscious. It's in their mind all the time. But like, you don't just go up to someone and be like, hey, what do you think the ethics of is? It's
Right.
whenever you've been on,
Right.
you've already played a show, you're driving, it's 2 a.m. at night, and you're like, okay, but do you think God cares about blah, 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 blah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally what our drives. And,
Yeah.
and, you know, we don't listen to music a whole lot. I say that there'll be nights where we'll have these super highbrow talks, you know, and I love it. But then there's nights where I'm literally just in the back peeing myself laughing because I'm putting on like Nickelback and ICP, and I'm
Yeah, yeah.
controlling the van's rate. Yeah.
True.
And everybody's like, what is going on to this radio? Like, what is happening? I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know. It keeps changing.
Gosh.
Steve tells people all the time, like, we grew up watching Jackass. So there's always
Mhm.
Yep.
the prank thing is real. And we do it a ton, but we also have this like, hey, Steve, explain this last 100 years of theology to me in 2 hours before we get to the hotel
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Right.
And like our content, or Murphy, her name is Murphy. She has a name. Her name's Murphy.
She does.
But she's the passenger princess, so she always sits up front.
Cool.
And if
Yeah.
she's not asleep, I'll hear her lean over and be like, Steve, and then like ask him some question that just opens the door. And then I just like pause my ear. I'm like, all right, like here we go.
There we go.
Let's
This is it.
let's
Yeah.
see where
There
this
it is.
goes.
You
Yeah.
guys don't
So,
need
yeah,
a podcast.
I love it.
You just need to ask Steve questions.
Dude,
That's all you really
yes.
Right. Yeah.
Just what does Steve say is what we'll call it, and we'll just
Oh,
put a mic in the
gosh.
middle of the van.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's-
That to me implies you guys have a good comfort level with each other, and you guys do like, because that's a cool space to have. That's a rare space to have. And even if being on the road is exhausting and tiring to be away from your family, having moments like that, as well as playing in front of people, are probably moments where like, man, this is why I'm doing this. This brotherhood, this love of each other
Yeah.
in music is why I'm willing to deal with all the other chaos that comes with it.
We've absolutely created, short of like the outliers that there would obviously be judgment for, but like we've created such a, I don't like using the word, but like such a safe space for the 5 or 6 of us in the van to be
Yeah.
like, hey, like if you have questions, like talk to me about it. Tell me,
Yeah.
you know, I will tell you what I know, and then if I don't know it, Steve will tell you what he knows, and just kind
Yeah.
of the same thing. It's a very, you said communal earlier, but like I feel like the dudes that we do this with are absolutely like blood to me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just kind of, I don't know that I could ever have some of these conversations with random dudes or like any other
Right.
ego kind of guy in the van.
Yeah.
So I love the dynamic that this band has outside of being family, like just being 5 dudes who are trying to figure out what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
a good time until we get super tired and get. So what did we start fighting
know.
over? What did we fight over in Austin?
I
What
don't
was
even
it?
know.
The
dude.
saying.
Oh, that's what
So-
it was.
Murphy and Mark are the guitar player. He's been driving a lot lately. They started this. I actually lit the match and just kind of stepped back and
Yep,
watched it happen.
Yep.
But I was like, hey, is it butt of the joke or brunt of the joke? And they both just like fangs out, just started going at each other. And then they ended up making their AIs talk to each other.
No.
And I was like, guys, that's not gonna
Yeah.
work at all.
And their AIs argued with each other. Like,
No.
yeah, like objectively, both of their AIs thought, and they were both using ChatGPT.
Okay,
Yeah.
so at least
Both
it's the
of-
same
yeah.
playing field. Okay, that's
It
good.
was the
Right.
same. You would think, right? But yeah, no. I guess they both learned each other's, and they're both saying completely different things. It's such a bizarre, like.
And here I am sitting back in the bench just playing Photograph like 9
Yeah.
times in a row.
I know it was.
Just to
Weezer,
see-
Photograph by Weezer is like a
Oh,
3-minute
by
song, right?
Nickelback.
No.
Yeah.
Look at this
Yeah.
brunt of joke.
Yeah.
And then
That's
that's what's Chris. And the next time, just be like, actually, I think it's Bud of the joke. I think we've
Bud, yeah.
completely change it.
Then you become the enemy. Then you're the one
Correct.
who's ruined everything. So,
I love it.
which is one of my favorite parenting techniques to do when the kids are fighting, is to be like,
Oh my
actually,
gosh.
what about this? And then you redirect all the anger towards you.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
Yep.
this is better than it was 5 minutes ago.
I try to just shoot the anger towards my wife and just watch that happen.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. There's
Throw
no
her
way.
under the bus.
Yeah. Oh, her and I both are speed bumps all the time for each other.
Yeah.
I'll hear it from the other side of the house. Go ask your dad. I'm like, oh, God,
Okay.
here we go.
Here we go. That also, though, sounds like, Chris, you and I might have been the same, in which I was never the person to get into a fight, but I was the person on the outskirts saying, I bet you won't hit him. And then just
100%.
watching what chaos would happen.
Dude,
Right.
and I do it sometimes in our van, just kind of being a
Boop,
jackass.
just gonna poke. I'm just gonna poke. Yep.
Just gonna like the dude that's like, get out of my face. I'm like, I'm not in your face. I'm just like, I'm not in your face.
Yeah. Where
Just
even
for
is
fun.
your face?
I mean, yeah. Until they turn on me, and then I get pissed.
Then I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
right,
this isn't that fun. Now I hear it.
This is
Now I
not
hear
fun
it.
anymore.
Now I hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay.
That's funny.
In the interest of time, and so you guys can do something else with your night, maybe actually like talk to your wives, hang out for a little bit, something like that. I'll start wrapping the episode down. So I ask 5 questions. You guys have to take turns, answering them. They aren't rapid fire. First question is, did you have any backup names for your kids? Like, did you have anything that you almost named your children?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
And share them.
Absolutely.
That's the other part. Don't just say yes and then move on. You have to actually,
Yes.
tell the
Next
story.
question.
My kids are actually, their names, I guess, would be, my wife had already chosen the names. And I was like, I don't like those. And so
Preach. I'm in the same boat. Wait a minute.
I would consider the names to be backup names.
Okay.
But I guess they were like, the names that we didn't choose were the names that she had already like decided in her heart years ago that she wanted. And then as we talked it out, it was like, you know what, I think. So like my son was going to be Levi Isaac, and we named him my name. So he's Stephen Matthew Stanley II. So
Okay.
And she calls him Matthew because she doesn't want to call him, Steve, because there'd be 2 Steves. And then my daughter was going to be Catherine Elizabeth, but instead she's Rosemary Estelle Stanley. So she has her grandmother's names.
That's
so
sweet.
Yeah, that's what
Did you
that's what the names are.
almost name your son after 2 tribes of Benjamin, like of Israel?
My wife.
Okay.
My wife.
Yeah.
Okay,
My
sorry,
wife. Yes.
I'm not trying to tie it into
You caught it.
your doctorate, but
Yes.
you need about 10 more kids to flesh out all the tribes.
I know, to really get all of them. I don't know. We could do the Chris thing where, we get a couple twins and work it out. Yeah.
Chris, I applaud your efficiency,
Right.
Hey, look, and it's not to devolve this too much, but I always make the joke that I didn't even get my wife pregnant, but I did it all at once.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have to, and I still knocked them all out of the park at once. I don't know what that says about me.
Super sperm. Anyway,
Right.
Chris, backup names for your kids. What did you almost name your kids? Or what did your wife almost name your kids?
Yeah. So I'll preface this with, my wife is an elementary school teacher. So she sees a billion names, a billion names a year, and spelled all different ways, and just combinations of names and whatever. So I knew going into the naming part of this that I had already lost.
Yep.
But I sure as heck stuck my foot in the door as hard as I could and tried to get some in there. My oldest daughter, her name is Emerson Grace, and my wife's an English teacher, so the Emerson just naturally happened. And apparently, I was told when I got married, I was told this, that it was already decided before we got married, before she even met me, that this kid's name was going to be Emerson.
Okay.
Because of the literature tie.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, we have twins, so I have I get a second shot.
She gets one, you get one.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
50-50.
It's literally, it's just one for one here is what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great parenting philosophy, by the way. That won't
Yes.
backfire at all.
And no, never, not once has it ever backfired. But ironically, the baby A is what we called her, is a spitting image twin of my wife. and baby B is
Yes.
spitting image of me.
Fascinating.
So, of course, I was like, oh, this is my kid. Like, I'm going to name this kid. That
Yeah.
only lasted about 2 seconds until
Yeah.
I said the first name, and my wife shot it down immediately. But I wanted to name her Kennedy, and I wanted to name her Mackenzie and Paisley. I don't know why I like the Lees.
Yeah.
Paisley, Mackenzie, Kennedy. What else was there? I don't remember. I've slept a lot since then. But
6. Yeah, you're good.
so we landed on the first one's name is Emerson Grace, and the middle names are intentional.
Mhm.
Because, like I said, we're believers, so it's
Yeah.
everybody. Grace is a big thing for us. So Emerson Grace, and then I say it's my choice, but it wasn't even my choice. I got vetoed, and then I think she just made me think it was my choice, kind of situation.
You got
Right.
incepted.
Yes, exactly. Namecepted is we named my other daughter Hadley Marie. Hadley is a town that I lived in when I went to college in Boston.
It's awesome.
So I was like, yeah, that was my idea. When in reality, I don't think it was. I think she just kind of, as dads, you know what you do, or you direct a kid to where you want them to think.
Yep.
She absolutely, she did it to me. At 32 years old, she did it to me. So her name is Hadley Marie, and Marie is named after, I thought it was always because of my mother-in-law's middle name.
Mhm.
But apparently it was unintentional, is what my wife says. She just liked the way it sounded. I still don't believe that. But the second child's name is Hadley Marie. And there was a lot of names before, except for Emerson. That was already figured out.
Yep.
I had no shot at changing that one.
Yep.
So
That's fair. Next question. Who's your favorite TV or movie dad?
Hey.
yeah, and I got to think.
Yeah. You can do
Yeah.
first that comes to mind also,
The first that comes to mind is Atticus Finch.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
just an easy one.
Yeah.
Geez, philosophical.
Well, Chris, now you can say Jesus Christ or God.
Yeah, come on, right? Yeah.
It's a book.
Boy, did you miss that,
Right.
Steve. I'm just gonna.
Sorry.
Listening right now. And
right now.
I was just gonna say Phil Margera.
Okay. I'm
But
down.
I'm just kidding.
Like
I wanted to see Bam's dad. Dude, he's like the
Plunger to
epitome
the
of
face.
patience.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's the epitome of patience. You seen the scene where he lights off firecrackers in his van when he's going to work?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be livid.
I'm
That dude
surprised you
just
didn't-
sat there.
You didn't say Bluey's dad. What's his name?
Bandit.
Hey, Bandit.
Bandit's so
Bandit.
good.
There it is. Bandit's a
Bluey
good
is
one. Dude.
Bluey is such a good show.
maybe
Good.
Phil is the dad that you actually are, and Bandit is the dad, and Bandit's the dad you wish you were.
That's what I
you
wish
were.
I
Yeah,
was.
that's
Yeah.
it.
That's a good. There you go. I like that
That's
one.
a shirt right there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bandit's honestly Bandit's one of the most common answers, but every dad is like, I can't live up to Bandit though.
No,
Like I
no.
can't. But then someone told me once, they were like, just remember, those episodes are only 8 minutes. You can be a great dad for 8 minutes. And I was
For
like,
8
I like
minutes.
it.
I can be a great dad for 8 minutes.
I
You're
will.
correct.
I will say, side quests. We have watched all of the Bluey episodes, and the one where they decide to sell the house
Mm-hmm.
killed me. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, this is a kid's show, and I'm
Yeah.
over here like tearing
Yeah, so
up. Like,
good, dude.
what the?
You know what was really great timing about
It's
that
just
episode?
a dog.
Is it came out whenever we were moving from Nashville to Colorado.
No way.
And at the
So,
end
yeah.
of that episode, they decide to stay in their home. So my
Yeah.
kids all look at me and they're like, are you going to go rip the sign out of the front? And I'm like,
Thanks,
no,
Bluey.
we're not. This is still the plan that we want to. Oh, God. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks,
right.
Bandit.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Bandit. Every other aspect of this, thanks,
Yep.
guys. Really appreciate it.
That's amazing.
Like,
So I'll say that. Yeah, Phil and Bandit.
Phil and Bandit. Next question. What's your replacement curse word? What do you say instead of a curse word, or do you just say the curse word?
I have this weird thing where I don't curse.
So whenever Steve says anything that's like, if he says damn, the whole van stops and stares at him.
If I'm
It's
if I'm quoting somebody, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, oh, so and so said this. I'm not
Yeah.
afraid to say. I just, when I was a teenager, I heard way too many ICP songs. Not that I wanted to. This is true.
Not by
okay?
choice.
Not by choice.
You didn't. Wait. You didn't choose the Juggalo life. The Juggalo life.
It chose me.
you. That's terrible.
I'm so sorry.
So true.
I'm so sorry.
So ICP, anytime they cuss, which is way too much, and I'm in a punk rock band, so I hear it a lot, but anytime they cuss, it sounds like a 13-year-old who just found out a cuss word.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
it sounds so
that's the Call
forced
of
and
Duty
awkward. Yeah,
lobbies,
it is.
those are the
And
best.
so, like, early on, it just always sounded so weird to me. It's not like a faith thing, although there is an element there. It's just, to me, I was like, I want to be more articulate about how I feel and stuff like that. So I just don't, it's just not a habit that I've ever fallen into. But whenever I just say dang it a lot, or like I say gah a lot. I don't know
Sound
why.
effects.
Gah. Yeah, exactly. Blurbs.
Yep. I get that.
I do sometimes. I've gotten better at it, but I do have a mouth outside of the band.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
very
a plumber,
intentional.
so.
It's true.
I'm very intentional when I'm home to watch what I say.
Yeah, he's good.
And it's funny because the 2 times that my child has said something bad, my wife's looked at me and I'm like, dude, it wasn't me. And then you ask her, like, where'd you hear that? And she's like, oh, this person at school. And I'm just like,
Right.
see?
Told you.
It was not me. It was not me. I'm very intentional about it. But like, I think I changed mine because like lately I've been saying sheesh a whole lot.
Sheesh.
So I'm like, sheesh.
That's
I've
a
been
good
saying it
one.
a lot to the point
That's a
of
good one.
Hadley says it now. She walks down the hall and she's laundry out. She goes, oh, sheesh.
Sheesh. I love it.
Pick it up, kid. Pick it up.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'll say that's mine.
That's awesome. Next question. What's like favorite activity or toy that you guys play with your kids?
Man, that's good. I play video games with my kids a lot. That's fun.
Yeah.
There's this weird, it's called like Minecraft Dungeons, which it's like an older game, but it's like a 4-player game that you could just, it's a silly kind of third-person view, I don't know, Minecraft game that you can play with kids. It's not like the normal Minecraft game. Yeah. And so we play that a lot. Video games are like big in my house. So.
Cool. Yeah. If it connects, it connects. And honestly, it's very different than we were kids playing video games. The opportunities to play online, to have community around it is very different. And I have to remind myself of that because sometimes I'm like, no, don't play video games. Go outside. And I'm like, this is how kids communicate now. And I'm like, okay, cool. Okay.
Right.
Sounds good.
Yeah, this is connection. Yeah.
Yes. I got to update my definitions. Good to know.
Yeah, for sure. No, we have gotten into, and I played the Pokemon trading card game back whenever I was a kid. But now my daughters have gotten into it because they were on YouTube and they saw old episodes, and then they got into it.
Yeah.
So now we do something with cards pretty regularly. They like to wake me up at like 7:30, even though nothing's open until about 9.
Yep.
On the weekends, they like to wake me up, and they call. I mean, we go Pokemon hunting. We go to vending machines or stores or whatever.
Cool.
So really, kind of that. And kind of like Steve said, I have a PlayStation 3, 4, or 5. I don't know, something like that. Whichever the new one is.
5.
Who knows?
5. See, I don't.
3, 4, 5. I don't know.
You fucked up all of them together.
Yes,
Right.
I have a PlayStation.
What's that? What's math? You have a PlayStation 12? Is that what?
Right.
Yes, exactly.
7, carry the 1. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, we'll sit here and play, and one of them loves to play like MCU kind of Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
And then the other one wants to play Barbies. So I have to sit and go through both of them video game wise. So like, I could tell you how to get to Barbie's dream house from the beach real easy.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a useful skill.
Yeah, very much so. So yeah.
Okay. And then last question for you is, what's your least favorite kid show or movie? Like, which one, whenever your kids watch it, you're just like, oh, I despise this. This is so bad. Yes, it's the most common answer.
Caillou, dude.
So let's talk.
It's the most common answer. It is the most common answer. Every dad
That's hilarious.
It is where I will go from like, what's your replacement curse word to which show do you hate the most? And they won't use any of the replacement curse words to describe Caillou.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I've never really paid attention to that show. And they watched it. They had it on like, I guess their iPad.
Yeah.
And I heard he's kind of a little snot.
Yeah, he's whiny.
Yeah, that's
He's
the
whiny.
issue.
He's whiny, but then like, I was like, why? We just decided that Caillou was not something that they watched. So then they started watching this thing called Cocomelon.
No, I'm sorry. You just said 2 for 2. You went 2 for 2 for
Yeah,
worship.
Yep.
exactly.
That's it.
So the songs are playing. I'm like, man, these are really catchy songs, but I can't stand this show.
Yeah.
And that, like, the dad come on and the dad was crying about something. And I'm like, shut up. Like, what are you whining about? It's just, that show made me mean. I was like, dude, this
Yeah.
guy is such a pansy. Like, why is he
Yeah.
crying?
Yep.
To the
My
point of like,
kids-
yeah, we don't do any of those shows anymore. Thank the Lord.
My kid now they're too old for Cocomelon mine, but they like to watch it because of how cringy it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
terrible.
It's
Yeah.
something that we all love to hate on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a weird bonding experience.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put it on for a couple minutes and we're all like crack up, and then eventually we're like, yeah, we're done with this. Let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I also like overanalyze all that stuff and then like
Yeah.
wonder why can't I create something like that, you know? And then I'm like, don't do
Right.
it. Because even like I don't know if you guys know who Danny Go is, but like
Yes.
Danny Go has very much a formula in all of his songs, which works and
Yeah.
he does it perfectly. But it's like, okay, no, here's the treasure. Swim to the right,
Yeah.
swim to the left, get on the rock. And you're just like,
Yeah.
this is a grown ass man in a recording booth. Just
So
giving
there's another one.
directions.
That's
There's
amazing.
There's another one that I laugh about, and then I found out that they're an actual touring band, and I want to go just to say that I went, but it's
Yeah.
just Cuckoo Kangaroo. But they're actual, like, they're really good musicians, and they go
Yeah.
play these songs live, but they do them in like adult clubs, like it's not really a kid setting. Like,
Weird.
Yeah.
what adult is coming out to hear about my pizza song? Like, what the
Yeah.
heck?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a thing.
Once went to Lollapalooza, and Lollapalooza used to have a kids stage. I don't know if they still do. So
Wow.
that's like that one would make sense because like I remember
Yeah.
seeing Matt Pryor of the Get Up Kids has this side band called the Terrible Twos,
Yep.
which was his kids band, and they played that set once because the New Amsterdams were playing Lollapalooza. So I remember
Yeah.
walking by once and being like, "Oh my gosh, is that Matt Pryor playing to children?"
That's
And I walked over
hilarious.
and watched it. But like that's the only scenario as like a kid in my 20s with no kids about to go to college would be like, let's go to a kid focused like thing
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not get arrested for being there.
Not get
Yep.
Chris Hansen.
Man. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
I don't know. I listen to these songs, and I'm just like, because I think we write catchy hooks in the band that we're in
Yeah.
now. But I listen to these songs, and I'm like, it's the most simple, dumbest thing you've ever heard, but I cannot stop singing
Yeah,
it.
it's the worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
It's like
Baby Shark
how-
is successful. Yep.
Baby Shark.
Dude, just naming off people in my family. I've been doing that for 20 years, but I didn't
Yeah.
call it a shark, I guess. Just crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's because you didn't have the dance moves with it. That's why
That's
your
it.
your
That's it.
choreo was really lacking.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to continue to lack. Let me tell you that.
Now you know you guys need to have the further north TikTok dance trend for you guys, which is just you guys sitting there being like, I'm almost 40. Am I
That's
supposed to
awesome.
dance? What am I doing?
So we have there's a, and I don't, what section of the song, what song is it? I know it's the bridge.
Yeah. In my life today, I think
We have a song that
there's a part of a song where it goes to the bridge. Is kind of this emo breakdown. That's
it's
kind
like
of
an EDM
slow.
almost kind of thing.
Okay.
And then so like this kind of EDM beat hits, and there's no singing or anything, but like the moment that the EDM beat hits, we all just start doing this. What is it? I don't know. There's this
Squidward
weird.
from SpongeBob.
That's it. Yeah, the Squidward dance. Just like
They didn't tell me they were gonna do it, and I'm like, yeah. They didn't. I got zero warning. Everybody
Yeah.
apparently knew because our Murphy had the camera up. She knew what was gonna happen. But I look over because I'm 99% of the time I'm stage right on our
Yeah.
stage. I look over and I go like this. Literally, everybody's just doing this thing, and I was like, "What are y'all doing? What
I think
is
we started
this?"
that like a year ago or something, and now we
It's
do it like every
random.
show, and it's
So now they've gotten me into
Yeah.
doing it every show now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that somebody hadn't got a shot of that and just been
I
like,
know.
"That's
Yeah.
the antiviral, like 40-year-old weird
Right.
dude thing." Dude,
Just do the stanky line. Just do like
Yeah.
some random odds dance move that
Yeah.
that only like 3 people will understand. Oh, he's doing the stanky leg right now. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
He's doing the
stanky
whip,
leg.
the nay
He's
nay.
doing
Start-
the nay nay.
Yeah, there
Now
it
watch
is.
me.
What the backpack kid when he was like flossing for Katy
Yeah,
Perry
flossing.
or whatever?
Yep,
Yeah. That's talent, man.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And then last thing after is just like moment for self-promotion. So like, where do we find your music? Promote yourself, Instagram, all that good stuff. You guys got any tour dates, blah, blah, blah. Promote yourself.
We actually, I mean, there's so many things in the works right now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Further North on
At Further North
Spotify,
TX.
at Further North TX on Instagram and the TikTok
On everything.
And
We finally managed
on
to make it all
everything's.
one.
yeah.
But yeah.
So at Further
Yeah.
North TX, and then like Chris said, we've got a lot of things in the works. I don't think we have anything that we can officially
Yeah, you're good.
announce, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
road dates. And then
Yeah.
we've got so many new songs that should be hitting
We just left
in
the
25
studio.
or 26.
weeks.
We're excited about.
What's the best way to find announcements for that? Do you have like email? Like do you do whatever? Newsletter. That's the word. That's what I was looking
There you
for.
go.
Newsletter.
Yeah, mailing list. No, we
Mailing
I
list.
mean, we're pretty good, and Murphy's pretty good about keeping everything on Instagram and
Okay.
Mhm.
and TikTok. And then Facebook is just kind of tied or
Yeah.
linked to
Yep.
Instagram. We don't ever really
Yep.
get on that.
Yeah.
But
Same.
kind of it's
Yeah.
it's kind of those three we sort of try to stay relevant on.
Mhm.
Yep.
I mean, we have like everything. We literally have like what's it called, threads that nobody's ever
Threads,
been
yep.
on, but
Right.
somehow we post on it.
If somebody's desperate for a newsletter, go to the Common Thread Records.
Yeah, we have one.
If
Okay.
you get on that, I send out newsletters anytime we release a song. I
Okay.
send that, but not just with Further North. Any of our bands on
Yeah.
Common Thread we put out. But yeah. If somebody's desperate for a newsletter, go to Common Thread Records, and because
It's
you just want one more
exactly.
spam.
It's
One
but
more,
also,
one more spam.
Yeah.
Isn't it fantastic to create something and be like, someone please just notice that I created this?
I know.
And
Please.
someone, I'm trying here,
Yep.
guys.
This year we've well, no, not this year. I guess last year. Last year was the first real end of last year was the first. Because we've been at this for 8 years now, but
Mhm.
last year was kind of
Mhm.
the first real swing of like us showing up and playing a show at a venue and the entire front 2 or 3 rows of people knowing every word,
That's cool.
Yeah, that was
which was
cool.
That's cool.
crazy. We're like,
Yeah,
what?
that's cool. Are you
Yeah.
We're
sure?
not used to that. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Sure about that?
you know that.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know that. Like he doesn't even know the words.
That's how you found your backup singer for your gig.
Yes.
You just
That's
went to
it.
the front
Right.
2 rows and were like, can you sing? Can you sing? Can you sing? Can you sing? Try out there tomorrow.
But yeah,
My
we
daughter always gets mad when she shows up. She's like, how do they know these songs? I knew these songs so much. I knew them years ago. I'm like,
Oh my God.
yeah, okay.
Like, I don't know what to do with that energy. Are you
I
mad?
know,
Like,
I know.
are you
I
indie?
know.
Are you indie hipstering me right now? Like,
She totally is. She's like, you know, the alternative is, right? Like your dad's playing to nobody.
Yeah.
That's,
yeah.
She's like,
Even the
"That's what I
bartenders
want."
left. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
the bartenders quit.
No
He's
one
quit.
can think dad's cool. I don't like
Now
it.
Steve has now bought the bar and is running the bar because everyone
Right,
left so quickly.
Right.
Yeah,
It's the next business venture.
exactly.
Right.
But hey, that's all I've got for you. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for being
Oh,
real.
dude.
Thanks for laughing about everything. And let me learn about your journeys and what your life is like.
Awesome,
Always. Let's do it again.
Thanks
This
for-
is fun.
dude.
Perfect.
Thanks for hanging out, dude.
Thank you so much for listening to the episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at the Imperfect Dads Podcast. And make sure to give us 5 stars wherever you listen to us. Music, editing, and production is all done by me. Make sure to tune in on Mondays and most Thursdays for new episodes. This podcast is part of the Never a Phase Network. Make sure to go to neveraphasenetwork.com to learn more about them.